Welcome to the World Staffing Award interview sessions with our top 100 staffing leaders to watch in 2023. My guest today is Lindsay, Senior Vice President of Sales at Parker Staffing. Thank you so much, Lindsay, for your time today. We are excited to hear your thoughts on the industry.
Yay, thank you so much for having me and for such an incredible honor. I was very excited to be on that list of such distinguished leaders.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And before we dive into a few questions, tell us
Sure.
a little bit about yourself and Parker Staffing.
Sure. So as you mentioned, my name is Lindsay Lundberg. I'm Senior Vice President at Parker Staffing. We are a Seattle-based firm that has actually expanded across the United States. We're a 42-year-old administrative operational staffing firm. So we have three different divisions. We have our high-volume call center division, our core administrative division, as well as our non-clinical division. We are actually owned by Jackson Healthcare out of Alpharetta, Georgia. So we are one of their 17 staffing companies, and we are the one that runs the administrative game. So it's really exciting because while Parker is a 42-year-old Seattle brand, over the last 5 years, we've expanded across the US and we're now in 29 markets, which is fantastic. And I have teammates all over the country, which is really exciting.
Perfect. Awesome. That sounds really great. And, with that expansion and that growth, you probably also have some goals for this year. So, for 2023, what are your goals or hopes to achieve for you and your team?
Yeah, that's a really great question. So it's very timely for what we're talking about because it's a down market. Our industry has seen, this is actually, I've been with Parker for 14, going on my 15th year. Which is crazy. It's a big chunk of my life, quite frankly, I've been here. And this is the fourth time I've seen a down market. And so I think during down markets, the things that you can do the best is focus in on your relationships and put relationships at the forefront of every decision that you make. And so really the goal for my team and for Parker, one of the things that we've always done well is a different experience, a different outcome. We like to say that is focus in on the relationships and the client experience. And so most recently, last week, I was at a conference and I actually had the opportunity to listen to the author. I want to make sure I say her name right. Brittany Haddock. And she wrote a book on how to create super fans and turn customers into lifelong advocates. And I thought this was so timely for what our industry is seeing, because if you focus and, put a huge emphasis on the client relationship piece, what is the outcome? She said in the keynote that she gave, you can't help but not have your client talk about you when you create a super fan. So what I want from my team this year, we've hired quite a few new salespeople, is to really double down on the relationships and create their super fans. And I think that will help propel our business into 2024 and above.
Perfect. Awesome. That sounds really great. And I hear the word relationship in other interviews that I do with the world staffing leaders from this year. So I think that seems like, a trend, so to say. Everybody's roughly thinking the same, but there may be other opportunities in the staffing market in general. And maybe you have ideas or opportunities that others would not agree on. Do you think anything in particular that you can think of opportunities generally for the industry?
So one of the things that I will say, and we've done a lot of research on this, I have two different thoughts on this. The first being that the medical sector is so understaffed everywhere. So we actually carved out a whole sector of our business that is attracting and bringing more medical jobs to the forefront just because they're simply understaffed. And so we do the non-clinical side, but historically our medical business has always rolled into a big P&L. And we're actually carving that out because there's so much opportunity in this space and creating its own P&L, because it's the one area where I don't think that the industry has seen a hit. In fact, there's more jobs than ever. And so we are really doubling down and focusing on that. The second piece is, and I think it's the one thing that nobody in the staffing industry wants to hear, is that technology is going to play a bigger role. And there are technologies under development. There's technologies out there that, I think in theory, their thought might be they would replace the staffing industry. I totally disagree. I think while they're out there, we have a huge opportunity to figure out how we play in the technology space and align ourselves to the technologies, because at the core, staffing is a relationship business and people like the relationship piece of our business. So is there a way when these technologies come to market to make sure that we're aligning that and creating the real human factor along with the technologies coming out?
I think that's really great. And I think, you're exactly right. I agree with you that the relationship in the staffing industry is super important, and the technology will enhance, the work that our teams are doing. But when you look on the client side, do you think the client expectations have shifted in the last years? What do you think clients will expect, from you as a firm, or maybe also on the technology side from you in the future? Is there anything that you can think of?
Yes, I actually think it's a very interesting thing what's happened in the market, because we came out of the COVID years where,
Mhm.
everybody needed something from us, to this time where there is, there's layoffs happening, and
Mhm.
especially in Seattle. So I will tell you, just from this exact like piece of what I'm seeing with my Seattle-based clients,
Mhm.
Seattle was thriving during COVID, hiring
Mhm.
at mass amounts in every sector of our business. And it was fantastic. Seattle's also, you probably have seen in the news, and Amazon and Microsoft doing massive layoffs.
Mhm.
And so people are afraid. I actually gave a talk last week and I'm like, don't be afraid. I mean, the reality is that it's coming for a particular reason. Maybe a product didn't launch, maybe something didn't happen. But at the core, what people expected during COVID and what they're going to expect now is that you give an excellent experience. So it
Mhm.
might be that we're going into an account where they don't need 6 staffing vendors anymore. They need one or two that knows them. And I think that what clients are expecting, at least what I'm seeing with our clients, is they expect that they get the attention that they need and that they want. So
Mhm.
if they're giving you an order, that you are responding to it right away, that you're delivering in a timely manner, that you're putting communication at the forefront of everything that you're doing. I think those things have always mattered, but I think they're going to matter even more in the upcoming year, because
Mhm.
there's not going to be the need for as many staffing providers. So how people are going to separate themselves is through that great piece, right? Like
Mhm.
focusing on being great, not settling until you really are the best. I think that that's going to matter more than ever.
Thank you so much, Lindsay. Those are really great insights. We really appreciate your time and joining us, and we hope to
Yeah,
really see you again next year, also for the World
absolutely.
Staffing
Thanks for
Summit, and
including
also on the
me.
leaders of the top list of next year. Thank you so much, Lindsay, for your time and for those insights.
Absolutely. Thank you.